Your party is trailing in the polls, and the Conservatives are calling for an election. Is it time to send Canadians to the polls?
We're here today because we're delivering on school lunches and school food for thousands of kids across the province, and we're making investments that are going to be helping hundreds of thousands of kids across the country as people step up. These are the kinds of things that Canadians are looking for. As I traveled across the country this summer, people talk to me about making ends meet. They talk to me about the high cost of rent and the need for more housing. They talk to me about the environment and climate change and the impacts of it. And these are the things that we're focused on. I'll let others focus on politics, but I will point out that I really hope the NDP stays focused on how we can deliver for Canadians, as we have over the past years, rather than focusing on politics.
Follow-up.
What will become of the programs that you announced as part of the agreement that you had with the NDP, such as pharmacare and dental care?
Well, we have delivered on dental care. 500,000 Canadian seniors have now accessed dental care just in the past few months, despite Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives' opposition to it every step of the way. 500,000 Canadian seniors have now had dental care, many for the first time in decades. This is a program that has helped Canadians. We still have work to do to continue rolling out dental care, and I hope the NDP will continue to fight for that. This fall, we're going to be moving forward on making sure that nobody has to choose between paying for groceries or rent or paying for much-needed insulin. Pharmacare is going to become a reality as we work on that in the House, and I hope the NDP stays focused on that. As a government, we're going to stay focused on delivering for Canadians at a time where people need that. We have, and the Bank of Canada announcement today underscored that, we have the strongest fiscal position of any country in the G7 right now. My belief, our belief is we need to set that fiscal position to work for Canadians by delivering spaces at $10 a day in daycares across the country, delivering dental care, rolling out to Canadians with disabilities and kids under 18, delivering a school food program that's going to make sure that kids don't sit in class too focused on their bellies rumbling to focus on the teacher. These are things that Canadians care about and need. These are the things that this government continues to focus on.
Next question.
Prime Minister Don Bradshaw, NTV, have you had an opportunity to think about what your fall will look like now? Will it be just a regular return to the House of Commons, or do you now have to start thinking about maybe calling an election before something happens?
I am not focused on politics. I'll let other parties focus on politics. I'm focused on actually delivering the things that Canadians told me this summer they need. I had thousands of conversations with people across the country. Very few of them wanted to talk politics. They wanted to talk how are they going to make sure that they can afford their rent as they get back to school in the fall, how they're going to be able to hope to one day be able to own a home. That's why we're investing in the most ambitious home building program the country has ever seen. They want to know how we're going to help with the price of groceries. Well, rolling out these school food programs right across the country as more provinces come on board is going to make a real difference in families' bottom lines. I'm focused on Canadians. I'll let the other parties focus on politics.
But with that said, you have to focus on politics at some point when you look at what you're doing. The announcement today, for example, the Bank of Canada rate dropping, it would seem like these would be positive signs that maybe you would want to go to the polls with. So when do you start thinking politically?
Delivering for Canadians is at the heart of what politics is supposed to be about. We're about being there to make sure that as Canadians are hurting, but as our economy is in many ways one of the strongest in the world, certainly in terms of fiscal position, we should be putting that economy to serve them. That's why we stepped up with $10 a day childcare. That's why we've stepped up with dental care. That's why we're continuing to fight for pharmacare. This is why we're drawing in investment from around the world at levels that nobody's ever seen. We're up 60% in foreign direct investment. Last year, we were the #1 country per capita among advanced economies in the G20 for companies wanting to invest in Canada. There is opportunity in Canada that we cannot let slide. That's what we're focused on. An election will come in the coming year, hopefully not till next fall, because in the meantime, we're going to deliver for Canadians. And the contrast with a Conservative leader that wants to cut dental care, cut the school food program, cut insulin through pharmacare, cut the programs that Canadians are relying on to help them through this difficult time, well, that'll be a political decision that Canadians get to take in an election. But in the meantime, I'm not letting down Canadians, and I'm going to stay focused on them. La réalité, c'est que depuis plusieurs années, on est là pour livrer pour les Canadiens, que ce soit au niveau des soins dentaires, que ce soit au niveau de l'abordabilité avec des investissements dans du logement, avec de l'aide pour l'épicerie, avec un programme pour les enfants à l'école avec la nourriture.
The National Food Program, we are there to deliver, and we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to fight inside the House of Commons, and the other parties can play politics. Canadians will see, but I know that my priority is to help people at a time when we have one of the best economic situations in the G7. We should be trying to get that to Canadians and help them.
Hi, Troy Turner, CBC. Just to get back to the NDP announcement today, what conversations did you have with Mr. Singh prior to today's announcement?
I have had, over the past number of years, many conversations about how we get things done for Canadians. And that has led to things like $10 a day childcare, dental care that has made a huge impact. But both of those things have more work to do in Parliament this fall, as we're moving forward on pharmacare as well, to make sure that free prescription contraceptives, to make sure that free insulin is available to Canadians. These are things that I know the NDP should care about, because Canadians care about it. So I look forward to conversations with Mr. Singh about how we're going to continue to demonstrate that confident countries invest in their citizens, invest in their future, because that's what we're doing.
Well, leading up to today's announcements by the NDP, Pierre Poilievre had made a call to the NDP to get out of that governance agreement. Is there a fear that these two parties will form a similar type agreement? And how would that affect you leading into the next year and the next election?
I think Canadians are beginning to realize that Pierre Poilievre is wrong when he says he doesn't want to invest in food for kids at school. He's wrong when he doesn't want to see $10 a day childcare spaces created. He's wrong when he doesn't want to see free insulin go to Canadians in need who are fighting diabetes. He's wrong to not want to put the strongest balance sheet in the G7 in service of Canadians. Confident countries invest in their citizens and in their future. That's what we're doing. That's a choice he wants to take away from Canadians. And I truly believe that progressive parties like the NDP and we Liberals need to continue to deliver for people in this challenging time, because that's how we've grown the economy over the past years. That's how we'll continue to be there long into the future for Canadians.
Next question. Oblige with an answer in French as well, please.
Okay. Tout politicien a des décisions à prendre
Any
sur
politician
comment
has to
ils
make
veulent
decisions as
servir
to
les
how they
Canadiens.
want to serve
En tant que
Canadians.
gouvernement,
As a
notre choix a
government,
été
our
d'investir
choice was to
dans les
invest in Canadians.
Le choix de M. Poilievre,
Mr.
c'est
Poilievre's
d'écouter,
choice is to cut,
de s'opposer au programme
to oppose
de nourriture pour les
programs
écoles,
such as
au
the school
programme,
food program
de garderie à
or
$10 à
the
travers
child
le
care
pays,
program at
de
$10 a day,
s'opposer, au programme
to
de
oppose
soins dentaires
programs
auxquels
involving dental
un
care
demi-million d'aînés ont déjà eu
when
accès.
500,000 seniors have already had
C'est pas le
access
bon
to the
choix,
program.
puisqu'on
That's
a
not the right
une
choice,
économie
because
très forte.
we
On
have a
devrait
very
la mettre
strong
au
economy and we
service
should
des
be
Canadiens qui en ont besoin.
serving Canadians through that
Et,
strong economy.
le NPD va devoir
the NDP will have to make a choice as to whether they want to play politics or whether they want to be there to serve and deliver for Canadians. We have made our choice as a government. We will continue to be there to deliver for Canadians.